Let's talk about a big misunderstanding that a lot of people have about whether they should do a book or a course or a coaching program. Let's nip this in the bud. I'm going to share with you something that's going to break your brain when you think about different products that you can sell so you can see the forest for the trees. So in order to do this, I need to tell you how I learned about this. And it was from this book, Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. This is a great book if you want to be an expert or a creator that makes money, but it's definitely heavy. Some of this can fly over your head if you're new. But let's talk about something from that book that you must understand. There's a section where Russell talks about this idea of charging more money for the same framework. The story he tells, he used to go to seminars and everyone would tell him, Russell, you have to read the book, Think and Grow Rich. It will change your life. He bought the book and it sat on his coffee table for 6 months and he just never could get around to reading it. People keep telling him that he must read this book. It's going to change his life. And this is back in the days of eBay. And so he finds a 10 CD set on eBay of Think and Grow Rich for $97 and he buys it. Keep in mind, the book cost him like $10. The CD set cost him $97. With the book now in audio form, he was able to pop those CDs in his car while he was driving around. And within a couple weeks, he had finally finished the book. And when he observed his own behavior, he learned something. He learned that, wow, I paid $100 for the same information that was packaged in a book for $10. Why did I do that? He realized it was because the information was packaged differently. It was in audio form instead of book form, which allowed him to consume it the way that he wanted to. And that was when Russell first learned that people will pay more money for the same framework packaged differently. Let me give you another self-serving example. Okay, this is my book, Get Clients with a Book. This is a framework on how to write a client getting book that you can get $4 or $5 at getclientswithabook.com. It will show you the framework for how I've written 3 self-published books that have brought me close to 400 clients for my coaching business. Now, as you go through this book, there's going to be like 8 different places where I'm like, hey, dude, if you want my help with all of this, go to this link. And then you can learn about working with me one-on-one to write your client getting book. Guess what? If you hire me, what do you think I'm going to take you through? The same framework that's in this book. It's not different. I mean, why would it be different? If it was different, I should have put it all in the book, right? The framework, the process is the same. The difference is this is $5 and you do it all yourself versus if you work with me, it costs thousands of dollars and I hold your hand and walk you through every single step. Now, why would somebody pay me thousands of dollars to do this when they, for $5, could get the framework and do it themselves here? It's because they want the same framework delivered in a different way. So you as a coach, creator, consultant, or whatever you are, all you have to do is develop your signature framework. Forget about what delivery mechanism you're going to put it in. This is like putting it on a Google Doc. Like, what do I do for people? What are the steps? What are the phases? What's the process I take them through to get a result? Once that framework is fleshed out, you take that same framework and it becomes, basically the table of contents for a book if you want to write a book. If you sell an online course, you log in and it becomes the modules of the online course. If you do a group cohort or something that's 12 weeks long, the 12 weeks is going to be the phases or the steps in your signature framework. If you coach people one-on-one, you're going to take them through that same signature framework. What everyone gets wrong is you're like, should I do a course? Should I do a book? Should I do coaching? But they don't understand that those are just ways to deliver your signature framework to people. They're different options, right? It's like book is very cheap and do it yourself, and one-on-one coaching is very expensive, but it's hold hands and do this together. So you're just changing the way that the framework is delivered. If you're not already making north of $1 million a year, then you don't want to make the mistake of trying to have a bunch of different signature frameworks living in different products, because people will be like, oh, he has a book that does this, a course does this different thing, and a coaching program that does this other different thing. That's like a shit show and it's never going to work. All you need to do is develop one signature framework. You get one outcome for one person, and then you can take that framework, and the more forms that you package it in, the more options you give your customer for getting help from you. You're like, dude, you don't want to hire me? Fine, buy my book and just do it yourself. So you still get to help people, and you potentially are warming that person up to working with you down the road. Regardless, you just want to make a difference in the world, right? And help people. So if you have a $10 option, it could be your book. You could have a more in-depth online course that was $150, and then you could charge $3 to $10,000 or something for you to implement this with them in one-on-one coaching. Same framework, just 3 different delivery vehicles. Start by developing your signature framework, and then you can fracture it out into these different options for your customer. If you're like, how do I create a signature framework in the first place? That's actually what I go over in chapter 18 of this book. The thing is, it's how to create the signature framework that's going to live in your book. But like I said, it's the same framework that's going to be in your back-end coaching program or your course, or however else you want to deliver this result to people. So you can learn how to create it by grabbing this at getclientswithabook.com. Even if you don't want to write a book, just flip to chapter 18 and learn how to create a signature framework. Hope that helps. I will see you guys in the next one.